Gentlemen, today we are going to look at the slow death of the alpha. We look at how men lose their edge in marriage or after marriage. And someone had asked me earlier, how does betadization through 1,000 concessions happen? So this video is going to illustrate how men become betadized after they get married. So to begin with, every man begins life as a conqueror. He's confident, he's driven, he's hungry. But somewhere between I do and we need to talk, that fire dims. The same man who once commanded respect, he becomes cautious, he becomes compliant and confused. He becomes a shadow of his former self. This, gentlemen, isn't coincidence. It is conditioning. So we are going to look at the descent, how the alpha dies. Men don't lose their masculinity overnight. It happens slowly, imperceptibly, just like rust on steel. As Rich Cooper puts it in the Unplugged Alpha, men get betadized through 1,000 concessions. Each small surrender, avoiding conflict, yielding decisions, appeasing emotional outbursts, each of these erodes a man's sovereignty. In psychological terms, this is operant conditioning, the same mechanism that B.F. Skinner described when explaining how behaviors are shaped through reward and punishment. In relationships, women unconsciously use this system. They reward compliance with affection, and they punish defiance with withdrawal or emotional tension. And over time, the man learns what keeps the peace and loses his backbone in the process. So let's look at the biology of bondage. Early in a relationship, sex triggers a neurochemical storm. There is dopamine, there is oxytocin, and there is vasopressin. These ones flood your system every time you ejaculate. Dopamine rewards pursuit and novelty. And it's a neurotransmitter that we get from adventure, from risk, and from conquest. Gentlemen, if you're enjoying this video, please take a moment to like, subscribe, and share it. When you subscribe, you'll always be notified when I drop new content. Also, when you like and share, you help this channel to grow, and more importantly, you help other men to discover the tools that they need to level up. So remember, when one man rises, we all rise. Now let's get back to the video. But when the novelty fades, the same act of sex that once electrified him becomes routine. A hit of comfort rather than conquest. And this is where the trap tightens. The man's brain associates safety and belonging to her presence. He links safety and belonging to her presence. And oxytocin, which is the bonding hormone, it strengthens attachment. But it also lowers testosterone. This has been proved. Oxytocin lowers both testosterone and aggressiveness. He stops chasing life and he starts chasing her approval. He confuses comfort for connection. And the masculine age dulls. So let's look at the comfort trap, gentlemen. And we look at familiarity as a new cage. In the early days, he had brothers, he had hobbies, he had ambitions. He used to go to the gym. He had a vision. But once he married, his life begins to orbit around her. The workouts shrink. The poker nights fade. The personal mission dissolves into domestic routine. He tells himself that he's being responsible, but in truth, he is isolated. Research from American Journal of Men's Health shows that men gradually lose social networks when they get married. They invest less in male friendships and they invest less in hobbies over time. The result of this is a reduction in testosterone, energy, and drive. Without masculine camaraderie and competition, his internal fire dies. This is what Jung will call the loss of individuation. This is a man dissolving into the collective identity of the relationship, abandoning himself to maintain peace. So let's look at the pussy whipped paradox. The modern man has been sold a lie, and that is that submission equals love. That the key to a happy marriage is compliance. That's where a happy wife, happy life comes from. They believe that it's a man's job to keep his wife happy if he wants to have a happy marriage. Yet, in nature and psychology, respect never flows upward from submission. As Avila tells us in The Manipulated Man that many men unknowingly enter into psychological servitude under the guise of love. They end up seeking validation, approval, and peace at any cost. But that peace is expensive. It costs him his masculine polarity. The more he chases comfort, the more she tests his boundaries. These are what we call shit tests. Rollo calls them shit tests in the rational male. And these tests are subconscious challenges that are meant to measure whether he is still the man that she once admired or just another domesticated pet. When he fails them repeatedly, attraction dies, respect erodes, and desire fades. So betadization actually goes through a cycle, and we're going to look at the cycle of betadization now. The first stage is the initial phase, where you're still the alpha, you have your friends, you have your hobbies, you have your ambitions, you're directed from inside out, you're self-driven. Your testosterone is still strong, you're probably still in good shape, you're physically fit. You have masculine polarity, you're different from her. That's the first phase. That's where we start when you're an alpha. The second phase is the attachment phase, where dopamine and oxytocin now, they are actually filling your system. Lots of sex, lots of ejaculation. At this initial phase, the attachment phase, there is a lot of bonding, emotional bonding, comfort, and reduced drive. You just want to lie down, watch movies with her, and nut. The third phase of betadization is the conditioning phase, where now she starts giving you the operant response. Compliance is rewarded and defiance is punished. She's going to blow hot and cold. She will withdraw when you do something she doesn't like. she's going to use passive aggressiveness, and she will withdraw or deny you intimacy. The fourth phase is the isolation phase, where now you lose your tribe. She'll tell you, I don't like Jemo. Jemo is a womanizer. He's going to teach you to become a womanizer. I don't like your uncle. He never came to our wedding. I don't think he likes me. I don't like your brother. Your brothers don't like me. You should stick to your family. You're a family man now. And things like that. She is going to isolate you. So this is where you lose your friends, your tribe. You will lose your hobbies. You lose your vision. And this will be replaced by domestic routines, or you do the things that she wants. And then fifth is a beta phase. Now you become betadized. You've undergone internal castration. So here you have low ambition, low respect, and low sexual polarity. This is a stage where when your bodies tell you we can go and have nyamcho next Saturday, you say, bana wacha niulize mama, wacha niongee na mama kwanza. You have to ask for permission. You are a beta male. You beg for sex and you engage in chore play. You carry a handbag. You can't say no to her. You become a beta male. So those are the cycles through which betazization takes place. So by the end, the man is no longer the man she fell in love with. He's a man that she tolerates. And now the next thing, of course, is cheating on you, disrespecting you, and going rogue on you. So, gentlemen, if you've become a beta male, is there a way of reversing this decline? To do this, you must reclaim your sovereignty. It's very difficult to do it. But if you have to do it, you must reclaim your sovereignty. You must reintroduce the forces that made you powerful before she entered your life. So, these are some of the concepts that you must use to guide you. The first one is that purpose is greater than the relationship. Purpose must be above everything else, above your relationship. Brotherhood that keeps you grounded, you must join. Don't be a loner. Join a group of unplugged men like the one that we have. The third thing you have to do is you have to have physical excellence that commands self-respect. Don't be fat. Don't be out of shape. Go to the gym, start jogging, get physically fit. And that also is going to boost testosterone production in your body. When you have testosterone, the man in you comes out. When you're fat and have a lot of estrogen, you're emotional and weak, and she will lose respect for you. The fourth thing you have to do is you have to enforce your boundaries. And these are boundaries that respect and protect masculine identity. Okay? Decide how you'll dress up. Decide where you will go. And don't tolerate bullshit. Don't attend birthday parties for children. Don't watch chick flicks with her. Okay? You must assert your boundaries. Get financially strong and start leading from the front. In the way of men, Jack Donovan tells us that masculinity is about strength, courage, mastery, and honor. These virtues are not negotiated in a relationship. They are lived daily through challenge and mission. So when a man forgets this, he becomes domesticated. When he remembers it, he becomes dangerous again. Not violent, but vital. So in closing, gentlemen, I'd like you to ask yourselves, when did you last feel alive? When did you last do something dangerous, difficult, or purposeful? Some of you are living comfortable lives. You've never done a hard thing in the last few months. You have to do hard things. You have to do dangerous things. You have to challenge yourself. You have to challenge her. Have you traded your age for emotional comfort? It's time to stop living on her leash. Reclaim your mission. Rebuild your tribe. Redefine your purpose. Because the world doesn't need more obedient men. It needs men who are sovereign, disciplined, and unshakably masculine. So get unplugged, and I'll see you on the next one.